Hello, everybody. Hello, Pastor Daryl, and everybody who is part of the 10 days of prayer. Firstly, thank you so much for giving me this privilege to share my testimony. Um, Testimony is a very personal thing, as we all know, and God does so much for us, and to condense it in like 2 to 3 minutes is practically impossible. But I know I'm on the clock today. Um, we came to Canada, me and Arvind, and Abigail was just about a year old in the year 2018. I got married in 2016. I had Abigail. Abigail's our first daughter in 2017. We came to a new country in 2018. So 3 years, we did not know what and how things went by. It's like you cannot plan anything. Everything just happened and fell at its pace. And we knew God was leading us because it was so evident that everything had to happen the way it did because it was God's plan. Then we came to this country without a lot of help or support. And when I say that I have lived experiencing God's grace, and I in no way want to understate that. I am living in God's grace, a grace that I do not deserve. And I am a living testimony to tell everybody that our God is a prayer answering God. And for that, we should be eternally grateful. We came here now. Back when we left India, we knew that there were going to be certain challenges, and the kind of challenges we sort of had an idea of things that we would foresee, but the timelines, who's going to get a job, am I or Arvind is going to get a job, what kind of job will we get, when are we going to start earning, where are we going to live, or what are we going to do with Abigail. And there were questions after questions after questions, and so much of uncertainty was set ahead of us. And we were sort of mentally prepared for the worst. And Arvind started to apply for jobs. And most places turned him down because he was either overqualified or he didn't have a Canadian experience. He started to apply for jobs that were not his bank jobs that he did in Bangalore. And he said, right now, our priority is to get a job. So he started to apply for jobs like data entry jobs. And even then, they would say, you know what, you're overqualified or you don't have a Canadian experience. There were months that discouragement and doubt would cloud us, and we would not be able to see what lies ahead. But there was God, the same God that was there with Daniel in the lion's den was there for us. And just to think is the same God, it just humbles us so much. He applied to a bank and they rejected him, saying he was overqualified. And they said, maybe you can alter your resume and take some things off and add some things. And it was another rejection. And then, okay, let's start looking again. After a few weeks, Arvind applied to the same bank again. And we prayed, and he said that I'm not going to do anything to my resume. I'm not going to put anything that is not true. I'm not going to take away anything that is true that's already there. And if it's God's will, I will get this job. And the same bank that rejected him gave him the job. And that was a miracle, and we could not believe it. And we had our second child. We didn't have a proper place to stay. I didn't have a job. It was Arvind just began his job, and we were going to have another baby. And there were so many questions in my head. What if I have complications? Or how will I even go from here to the doctor? And if Arvind's at work, and where am I going to leave Abigail? We don't have anybody. We don't know anybody, or we don't have anyone who lives around. That pregnancy went so smooth, and God took care of us. and we had our second baby girl, Adrian. And we look back and we don't know, we cannot understand how God provided for us and how He took care of us. It it just blows our mind away to think that how God knows our smallest of need to the biggest of our need, and He took care of us in the palm of His hand. And this is just one or two of the things that God did for us in our lives. A few years later, we didn't know if we should get a place. We didn't have enough financial support to get a place. And the house that we were renting, the landlord called and said, I'm putting the house on sale, so you guys either have to look for another house or you can buy the house. And we knew that it was not possible because we didn't have enough financial support. Less than a year after we heard that from the landlord, God gave us our own place, and it is nothing short of a miracle again. And only God can do that. And He has been leading us so steadily, and His grace is what has led us so far. And every day I am reminded that being here is an answered prayer for me. Because I remember when we were in Bangalore and we were planning on applying, and when we did apply, we used to pray and pray, saying, God, if it's your will, make it happen. And God made it happen, and that was also a miracle. God is so good, and His grace is beyond compare. And I always tell this when I share my testimony, that even in my best understanding and wisdom, if I were to plan my life, I would not be able to have accomplished and achieved the things that God has done for us. And it humbles us every day that we cannot boast in ourselves because we did nothing. It is all just God. When we were talking about this testimony a while ago, Arvind told me of this song called Why Me, Lord? And this song is just wonderful. The first few lines of the song says, Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the pleasures I've known? Tell me, Lord, what did I ever do that was worth loving you or the kindness you've shown? This literally brings tears to my eyes, because all I gave God was doubts and questions and doubts and questions, and all He gave me was His love and grace that I did not deserve. Even today, He sustains us as a family in a foreign land with His grace and His love. And it's because He loves us. He loves us more than we can know or even understand. And for that, I'm so grateful. I want to end with this verse from the Bible that says, Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for He is good, for His mercy endures forever. Forever. Forever, that's what His mercy endures for. I pray that everybody will have a wonderful 10 days of prayer. Continue to keep me and my family in prayers. And thank you so much for this time. Bye.